Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Let's see if it's working. Let me know if you're here with me. I would love to know that um that we're up and running. Looks like we might have a little bit of a sluggish signal. Let me walk around here and plug in. Hang on, I'll be right back. Watch out, Rico. If you're joining me, let me know how you're doing. I would love to know. Have some fun stuff planned for us today. If I can get us up and running. Now, let's see if that got it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I see. We're up. All right. Happy Friday. Tell me how you're doing. I would love to know. And I'm going to share this over to our Creative Hearts group. All right, I think we're up now. I think we're rocking and rolling. So I'm going to get started. Let me make sure that I can see the comments. Okay. Oh, Holly, I am so sorry. Oh, I pray right now that the Lord comforts your heart. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry. Consider a big virtual hug. If we were in person, I would give you a big, big, big hug right now. That is so hard. Hey, Sandy and Karen. Yeah, those animals. I mean, they're like our children, aren't they? I'm so sorry. Well, we're gonna be praying for you, praying for your heart, because that's tough. That really is. I just pray right now in Jesus' name that you would just touch Holly's heart and her family, Lord, with the loss of this little puppy. You see the broken places, and we trust that you can touch and minister to them in your special and unique way. Amen. Okay. So today is Friday. And I've lost track of what week this is. I think this might be the second week in March. I don't have my watch, so I kind of feel lost. I don't even know what week it is. But next week is very special, and I want to tell y'all about it because I don't want you to miss out. And I think that you will enjoy it. This whole month is what I'm calling Butterfly Month. And so in Creative Heart Studio with lettering, we are lettering verses and including butterflies. In the mixed media painting, we are painting butterflies. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. This is our project for those who are not in Creative Heart Studio. This is what we did. So this is glass. And this is just an old frame that I repurposed with collage around the outer border. And then for mine, I found a recipe for making faux glass paint, and that's what I used for mine. And so it was a lot of fun to do this. And I've got another frame. So what I wanted to do today is do a little bit of comparison with glass paint, and then I've got some gouache paint and then watercolor paint. So that's what I wanted to do together today. But before I start on that, I want to make sure that you know about butterflies and bunnies next week. And I'm really excited about it. You're going to hear me talk more about it. It's free, there's no charge. But it's like the celebration week of something new that is about to unfold, and it's called Creative Art, ART, all caps, printables. And it's where I have taken, basically handpicked some of my artwork and reformatted it so that you could use it in Bible journaling, or in, if you like to do scripture journaling, you could even use it in scrapbooking. You can use it in your creative projects. You can use it as a home decor piece by simply framing it. So we have been busy beavers around here trying to get all of that set up. And um, like this is an example. So I showed you the glass. This is the glass. So I taught our Creative Hearts members how to paint this. So this is a spin-off. This is one of the printables that I printed onto vellum and I framed it. So basically, this is for people who, and we have quite a few that really enjoy printables. They don't really want, or they aren't interested in painting it themselves, or they don't have time right now to paint it themselves. So this gives them an opportunity to have the art printed out on their home printer and incorporated into their own designs. And I'm going to be talking about that more next week. I have two of my business buddies coming. Some of y'all know her, Create with Christy Daughtery. She's coming on Tuesday. And then next Friday, Tracy Gibson with Print Cut Craft is going to be here. And I asked each of them to take the printables and put their own spin on it. So I'm super duper excited to see what they've done. And then we're doing some in-house also. So Linda and Brandy are both taking the printables and they're putting their spin on it. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's every day next week, Lord willing, at noon Central Time, right here over on my Facebook page. And for those of you who watch on the YouTube channel, I'm going to stream it over there as well. And that is where you'll find the replays will be available on Facebook for 30 days and then they disappear. But you'll find the replays over on the YouTube channel. Hey, Elisa, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're here. So that's what's coming next week. And if you want to stay in the loop, which I encourage you to do that, I have added a link for you. I thought I had it right here, but let me post it again. So if you'll sign up for this list that I'm posting right here, it says wait list. And that's the people who want to make sure they know whenever everything's ready. So if you'll sign up there, I just posted the link. We'll make sure you get the email to know, get reminders right before we go live, and a lot of important reminders. We'll open that. It's a new club, and we'll open it on Tuesday. So I hope that y'all come and see what I've been working on, and see if it's something you might want to do as well. Okay. Have lots of stuff that I've been working on for it. And like I'll show you, like this whole thing is different projects that I've been putting together with the bundles. And then I'm excited to see what my buddies are doing also, because we're trying to make it as versatile as possible. All right. So since this is butterfly week, a butterfly month, I'm going to use my butterfly journal today. I know a lot of y'all made one of these with me. Some of you have made more than one, and I love that. I did a little poll, and this is one of the favorite projects that we've done. So I would say this is our all-time favorite. If you're new and you've not, if you were not around when we were making these, we've got more of these kits available. And right now, through the weekend, we've got them marked down. They're on sale for those who might want to make one. This is what I'm going to be painting in today with you. And I'm also going to get the glass. So let me get up and grab that glass because I didn't bring it over here with me. So, okay, so this is one of this is not glass, this is plexiglass. Diane, I see you're here. I'm glad you're here. Were you able to find these? I picked these up at Walmart, our local Walmart in the craft section. And I don't remember how much it was. It might have been around $7. But you don't have to have this. You can absolutely just get a glass frame. And I particularly like the ones that have the wide border because I like doing collage and I like decorating the frame. But for this today, I'm just going to use the plexiglass. And the purpose of what I'm doing is I want to show you a comparison between the paints. So I'm going to use some gouache. This is the brand. It's Acryla. If y'all can see that, Acryla. You don't have to have this brand. This is just what I have. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm also going to do a comparison with watercolor. I've got this set of watercolor. This is one of the ones we sell in our shop. But I've also got this. This is the paint dots. Some of you may have these. I used these in the spring window project, so I'll probably go back and forth between the two. And guess what I didn't get? I'll be right back. I got to grab my camera. Goodness gracious. Y'all let me know, are you, we've got a lot of bad weather headed our way. Are y'all expecting bad weather as well? I think it's a wide area of people are going to be affected by this bad weather. It's supposed to be really bad here on Saturday. Okay, so before I forget, I had this out so I could remember. Sherry had asked a question about the black, and I want to answer that. Good, Susan. I love hearing that. Brandy asked me earlier if we were going to do another journal, and I said, yeah, I think it's going to be in June, but I got to get the date solidified. The Bride of Christ. Does that sound like fun? Have a Bride of Christ journal. So Sherry had made a comment about whenever she was making her black, it wasn't turning black. So I wanted to show y'all that. Karen got 2 inches of rain and hail yesterday with more to come today. Oh, goodness. This is the time of year, isn't it, where it's spring storms and showers. Okay, so the best way I know to tell you to do this, for those who are using the paint that we mixed up ourselves, it's using the white glue all. I ended up, because mine never would turn black either. So Sherry had the question or made the comment that she felt like she needed to add some more to her glue all because it was just gray. Mine was like that too. So what I did is I took a big plastic cup and I just emptied it all into that cup, like the glue and the black, and then I took a skewer and I just stirred it up really well, and then it was very black. It didn't take much black, really. It just needed to be stirred. Then I put it back in my bottle. So I don't know if Sherry's here or not, but in case anybody else ran into that, that's what worked for me. And I actually ended up with 2 of these because I practiced myself before I did the class. Hey, Sandy, I'm glad you're here. I hope you're doing well. So I think that's all I wanted to say about that. So for those just joining, I'm going to do a paint comparison. So this is Butterfly Month, and I'm looking for all the ways to paint butterflies, as many ways as possible. And so one of those ways that we did in our Creative Hearts lesson is the faux stained glass. Faux stained glass. You can absolutely use glass paint. I love glass paint, but I wanted to try this because it is definitely a different, I don't know if texture is the right word. It's really slick when you paint on glass. All right, so I'm going to use a toothpick because I'm going to mix up just a little bit more, and I'm trying to see if I can get my colors comparable to the watercolor. So I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to do on my plexiglass, I'm going to mix up a little bit of the faux stained glass. I don't know why that's hard to say. And then I'm going to do the gouache on some paper. And then I'm going to do watercolor on paper. I just want y'all to see it. All right, so for this, I'm just going to, I've got my clear glue. Let's see if this will come down. And I'm just going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can add ink. That's acrylic ink that I just added. You could add acrylic paint. Alcohol ink looks really good. I love the alcohol ink. I didn't have a pink alcohol ink, so that's why I didn't try that. I'm going to move this so you can see it better. Okay, so see how it's kind of separating, I guess you could say. I'm just going to stir this up. So Creative Hearts, if you've not done yours yet, give it a try. I think you're going to like it. Okay, and you've got the recipe inside Creative Hearts Studio. I'm just doing a quick little mix up here. Okay, so I just stirred it up really, really well. And I'm just going to leave my toothpick right there. Okay, now let me see if I can go ahead and get my other camera going. Let's see. I would love to know, have any of y'all painted on glass before? I would love to know. Okay, let's see. All right. So let me move this out of the way. All right, this is the glass paint, and I'm just going to put a little bit on this plexiglass Sandy has. Oh, sorry about that glare. I'm going to move it to the side until I can. So I'm going to put that there. This is just going to be a little experiment. This pad of paper is drawing paper. So I'm just going to pull out a piece of this, and I'm going to put this, I'm going to get 2 sheets. These are going to have very different results, but I love learning about all the different supplies. So what I'm going to do, let me raise this up just a little bit so you can see. Can y'all see that okay? Get that light on. Okay, so there's my butterfly journal. And if you're just joining, if you've not made one of these with us yet, I want to encourage you to, okay, here's a sneak peek. This is one of the things I'm showing. This is made with printables. So I'll be telling y'all more about that next week for our butterflies. All right, so I want to use these 2 pages. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. No, I'm not. I want you to be able to see it, and I feel like I can maneuver it better like this. I'm going to do it like this because I want you to be able to see good. All right, so I'm just going to sketch, if I can get my direction going. What's going on here? I want to show you just a really simple, sketchy like butterfly. That's better. I'm going to need my pencil. Let me get my pencil. I see that. Oh, I would love to see it. Yes, I did a cross stained glass, and in the frame I placed crinkle aluminum foil sheet so it would add shimmer with. I love that. Well, Sandy, I think you would really enjoy this. And so what I'm going to show you for this paper is just a really simple butterfly that you can, I'm calling it a doodle. It's just a little doodle butterfly. So I'm going to do one on each side. All right, so I'm just going to start right here. And if you want something for reference, like these are from Creative Hearts, but you could look at a picture if you needed to, or you could just start sketching. So I'm going to see if I can sketch it without picking up my pencil. And I think I did a little bit of this maybe on Tuesday. I don't really remember if I did or not. I don't remember if I did it or if I was just thinking about doing it. So I'm just kind of doing a loose little sketchy sketch for the butterfly wing. And I'm just going to do a little body right here. Let's see. I didn't really want to use this pencil because this is like a what do you call them? Graphite pencil. So it does kind of smear, but I didn't see my other pencil handy. Okay, so this is the back wing and this is the front wing. And then let me do just a little something over here for the back part of that wing. And then I'm just going to make a little body just out of little segments like that. And then I'm going to do like this. Okay, there's one. Now I'm going to come over here and see if I can do similar. It might be different, but I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to kind of do like a little sketchy. It's like a doodle. See how curly it is? Oh, and I meant to not pick it up. Oh, well. Now I need the bottom portion. Sometimes I start talking and then I forget what I'm doing. Do y'all do that? It's like, oh yeah, I wasn't going to pick that up. Oh well. Okay, so here we go. So now I've got 2 different butterflies. And for over here, probably what I'll do is just lay this up under here. Like that. I really want it to be a little bit smaller. I want to kind of fill this up with butterflies, but I don't want to take all our time together doing that. So, yeah, this works. This is just a little, this is distracting me having that up under there. Let's do it like that. Can y'all see that? You probably can't even see it, can you? It's okay. You'll see it once I start painting it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put this one to the side. Now, let me come over here. We're going to do it 3 different ways. All right, so I want to do the watercolor first. I'm going to move this. As hard as I try to keep my work area clean, I really struggle to do it. All right, so this is one of the paint dots, and I'm just going to get this is just a round brush. Just a round brush. You could use a water brush. It doesn't really matter. But I really was wanting pink. So let's see if we have pink. Yeah, I've got lots of pinks in here. So I recommend anytime you have pan watercolors like this, make a little chart for you to be able to see what your colors are going to turn out like, because when you look at them, let me turn this. So this looks like red, doesn't it? But that's how it looks on paper. I just like doing it that way. So let me wake these little babies up. I like to take just a little mister and put a little water on there to get it going. So this is not watercolor paper. This is drawing paper. So that means it's not super absorbent like it would be if we were doing this on watercolor, okay? So that means I'm going to need to be really careful to not saturate my paper a lot, because it doesn't have the capacity to absorb it. So, which is okay as long as you know that's what you're working with. So now I'm just taking it and I'm just kind of out. It's like coloring. For those of you who have never played with watercolor before, it's so much like coloring. You're just kind of following around the lines like this. If you were using watercolor paper, I should have done that also so you could see that comparison, but I've done that before. So see, I'm just wetting it just to pull my paint in, and I'm just kind of pulling it in like that. So see how I don't really need to get it any wetter than it already is. But if I wanted to add more color, I absolutely could do that by just dropping color. See that? That's one of the beauties of watercolor paper. Watercolor paint, I said watercolor paper, watercolor paint. Watercolor paint travels with really anything wet. It travels with water. So it creates these really fun effects that is hard to replicate with other mediums. So I'm just going to let that run just a little bit more. And then if I wanted to, I could take one of these other colors. Like I've got an orange over here. I could take some orange and just drop it in there like that. And just see what it does. Just kind of let it run together. See how that's moving? What you'll see is our glass paint has similarities to this. I'll show you in just a second. So I'm just letting it run together and just do its little thing, adding it to it. All right, and it's going to continue to move around. Hey, Cheryl. Y'all are getting storms too? We've got them coming too. Ours are supposed to come tomorrow. We were supposed to get some yesterday, but it ended up being pretty yesterday. So what I'm doing for those who are just joining in, I wanted to do a comparison with y'all to let you see a comparison with watercolor paint, gouache paint, and glass. So the glass that I'm using is just that faux glass paint recipe that we have used this month in Creative Heart Studio. So now I'm going to drop a little bit of my pink. I'm going to do the reverse. I'm going to drop a little bit of my pink right here on the orange. Sometimes it's easy to feel afraid of different mediums, but if you become familiar with what they do, then they become like friends, you know? It's like you start learning which friend to call whenever you have a certain need. Okay, so now I'm gonna let this dry. Okay, I'm gonna put it to the side, and I'm gonna add these into my butterfly journal in just a second. All right, I need to get an orange. I didn't do that a second ago. All right, so the other paint that I want to try is the gouache. So let me put this right here. I'm just going to use a paper plate. Now, gouache is, to me, it's like the in-between of, it's a cross between acrylic paint and watercolor. See, it comes in these tubes. I don't know if April's here or not. She was, when I was doing this the other day, she's got some gouache, oops, that is in pans. I've never tried that kind. I'm going to use that pink. All right, so I'm just going to squirt some of it out. And then I need a little bit of orange, but I don't see orange. So I'm going to use this coral. This is coral red. I think I'm going to use it. I've got to add some water to this one, y'all. I've had these paints for 100 years. Not quite that long, but I've had them a long time. All right, let me turn this over. Let me get some orange. Okay, so let's compare. That really looks red. That doesn't look orange. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it orange because I want you to see the comparison. All right, so with watercolor, I'm going to start giving you the comparisons. So with watercolor, it's water soluble, so you can reactivate it with water, or anything wet that hits it. You can reactivate it. The gouache, the kind I have anyway, it does not reactivate. It's like that's what you have. You know, when it dries, it's permanent. But I do believe, y'all, that there is some that does reactivate. Hey, Sherry, I was just talking about you. All right, so I'm trying to do it similar. So I was telling them with the glass paint, you had made a comment, I think at our Zoom, and I meant to say something about it, but the black, I wanted to tell you how you might not need more black. It may be that you just need to dump the bottle of glue and paint out and stir it up better. That's how I had to do mine. I think I got so flustered that I had forgotten to press the record button. All right, so this is the gouache, and it's moving around a lot like watercolor, but it's not traveling the way watercolor does. And I'm going to hold this up a little bit more in just a second so you can see it better. But this is so good for those of you who travel a good bit, you could easily take this with you if you like more of the opaque look of acrylics. This is not translucent like the watercolor paint is. You can give the appearance of it being translucent, but see how I can pull some across and get a little bit more translucent, but it's not quite as translucent as watercolor, but it's pretty, isn't it? All right, so this is the gouache. All right, so now I want to pick up some of this orange like I did with the other one, and I'm just going to drop some of that in there. And look, it's traveling. Can you see it travel? So it does travel. It's just not It's just different. I don't know how to, I'm trying to figure out the words to tell you to describe how it's different, but it's different. It's it's similar to a watered down acrylic paint. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, so there's okay, good. I'm glad you were able to do that. All right, so look at the comparison. So whenever I say opaque and translucent, this on this side is the watercolor. And see how you can see the white paper underneath. This is more opaque. You don't see the white underneath as much as you do with that pink. All right, so let me add a little bit of the orange down here. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the glass paint so you can see. See if I hold it up closer, if you can tell the difference. See, it gets good coverage. And what I mean by the coverage is you don't really see much of the whatever is underneath, which makes this particular medium, it works for colored paper. And I'll show you that also in just a second. Okay, you see that? Now let me rinse out and get a little bit of the pink, and I'm going to drop some pink in here. Okay, can y'all see that? Does anybody have any questions about those? And before I finish this one, let me go ahead and put a little bit of pink back here on the back wing because I want to add these to my butterfly journal. And I love that so many of y'all found me through that butterfly journal. It's definitely a favorite. All right, here we go. And we do have those on sale if you have not done one, or if you want to get another kit. It comes with vintage sewing pattern. And that was when we first started. I think that was the first time I'd ever put an entire pattern in a kit before. I need a little bit of green for his little body. Anyway, we've got them on sale. If you didn't get one and you want to do one, I think Adrienne said they're on sale through Sunday. And I put the link if you scroll up to the top. All right, so there is the gouache, and we'll compare it better once this one dries. But I realized I really need to put a little bit more on this side before we move over to the glass paint. So for the back wing, I'm just going to choose a pink that's a little bit lighter. It's not as vibrant. Actually, that's way too, I need it to be darker. So I'm not going to do what I said I was going to do. Let's see here. I'm going to make this a page in my journal. Almost finished with the frame. All right. Tell me, this time last week, it's hard to believe, was Jingle Mingle. Did y'all do a window with me in Jingle Mingle? Okay. So I'm going to set this to the side and let this be drying. Nope, I got to do his body. Hang on. I keep thinking I'm finished with it, but I'm not. You could do this with markers. If you didn't have watercolor paint, that's okay. You could do this with markers and make it have the look of watercolor paint. That would have been good to do a comparison that way as well. All right, so I'm going to put this one to the side. Now, what I want to do, let me move this so I don't get my paints mixed up. Now I'm going to pull this over. So what I want you to see is the comparison with this. To me, it felt very similar to watercolor paint, the way it moved. So I wanted y'all to see it. Don't see it? Okay, yes, Sandy, I think if you don't see it, I bet other people don't see it either. Copy. I'm going to put it right here. There you go. There you go. All right, so I'm just going to take the clear glue and I'm going to mix up some of the orange. For those who, so Sherry was telling us in our Zoom that she had gone to Michael's. Well, I'd gone also and seen them. Check your Michael's because they're clearing out a lot of their acrylic inks, and you can do a lot with acrylic ink. I love using them in my paintings. Okay, so let me see if I can see this enough. What I did for mine is I just kind of sketched a butterfly on here, and let me get a brush. You could, I don't think y'all can see this though. Talk on it. Let's see. Y'all tell me if you can see this. Like you could even, all right, that's bugging me. Let me get a little piece of white. Now you can see it, can't you? Except for the glare. I have a hard time getting it just right. I'm Baby Bear. I like for everything to be just right. So you could even paint this with a toothpick. But this is the part I want you to see. So this base for this recipe is glue. There's professional glue, glass paint. So for what we're doing with this recipe is fine. If you wanted to use it on something that was going to have food, I would definitely make sure that you were getting a food safe paint. All right. I'm just smearing that on there. And I want this to look translucent. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my orange. And the fun thing about mixing this up yourself is if you wanted it to be super translucent, you use more glue. That's all you have to do is you have more glue. Now, let me drop this. I wonder if we have, I might take just a moment and do the, all right. So the thing with this technique is it's going to move as it dries. So you don't really see the full effect of it until it's dry. But I'm going to get this little bit of orange down and I'm going to show you my dry butterfly so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Where is he? I just had him. Here he is. Okay, so with mine, see how you can see it's translucent, and this is going to continue to move as it dries. Hey, Donna, I'm glad to see you here, and Brenda. So as it dries, it starts making this kind of mottled effect, and look how translucent that gets there, and then it gets even more translucent here. This one I'm pretty sure was the alcohol ink. So we're just doing we're doing a comparison in watercolor paint, gouache paint, and our faux glass paint, stained glass. All right, so I want to do one more thing. So this is the alcohol ink. And I'm going to put a little bit of that there. Then I'm not going to mess up another cup. I'm going to put twice as much glue. And I'm just going to pull in some of this. Isn't that pretty? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drop some. So you can just continue building layers on this. I hope for those of you who have already done your butterfly, you'll post pictures so we can see how yours turned out. I really enjoyed doing this. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit there. The fun thing about this is you could do this. I saw a lady doing it on a window. You know, the old window panes that are so popular to create with? You could do it on that. You know what else it would be pretty on, y'all? A mirror. You know the little pocket mirrors or hand mirrors that you can get at the dollar store? That would be really pretty to paint a butterfly on that and give to someone as a gift. And you could write the words, beautifully created or something like that, you know, be a really sweet gift. All right, this is what I want you to see. All right, so you saw me drop that, but look, it just gets engulfed in the first orange I put down. What I'll have to do is as this dries, I'll take a picture, y'all. Are you painting on the reverse side? I have no idea, Karen. I didn't even think about that. Oh, I'm on the front side. I'm on the front. Their little thing is on the back. This is that little hanger thing I got from, where did I get this? Walmart. Yeah, we did talk about that though for our dishes. If we did a dish, we could be super safe and do it on the back side. Okay, so let me put this one to the side now. And I think that I've got enough time. Let me show y'all quickly how you could create a similar. All right, so this is the, just so I don't get confused, this is the gouache. So, and this is watercolor. We're just doing comparisons. So let me get the Crayola marker. So if, just say you're watching and you don't have any of this stuff and you're like, I wish I could do that, but I don't have any of that. It's okay. Even if you have the Crayola markers like you could get from the dollar store, look, just scribble on something non-porous, like a plate or a paper plate or something like that. Get a little bit of water in your brush and you can have the look of watercolor just with the Crayola markers. So you don't have to have all of the supplies to be able to create. See that? Okay, well, Karen, be sure and post pictures so we can see. I would love to see. The biggest difference between these markers and having the paint is the markers, once that paper absorbs it, it's ink. So it's not movable. Like one of the things that are so awesome with watercolor paint is it's movable. And I'll show you in just a second. So I'm just dropping in some of that orange. Let me rinse this off. This is what I want to show you. All right, so this is watercolor, and watch. See, that's moving. I can push some of that up. If I had it too dark, I could kind of push it. I could move it a little bit just with some water. It especially does that if you're working with watercolor paper. So that's another thing that's distinctive about watercolor paint is it's movable. All right, so let's try that with gouache. The gouache is opaque. It's not translucent like the watercolor. So see, you can really tell right there. It's almost chalky. That's moving a little bitty bit. Little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Just a little. Okay. And right here is the Crayola marker. And it looks similar, but it's going to absorb into that paper. Sorry, guys. Okay, and then this is the faux glass paint, and it's still moving. I don't know if you can tell, but the orange is getting really big and it's starting to spread out. So what I'll do is I will post a picture of it once it dries and show you the comparison with all of them. But to me, this reminded me so much of the watercolor because it starts doing its own little thing. I could even take it and do this and spread some of this around. That's pretty neat. I'll be interested to see how this dries. But I guess my main point for today is to encourage you to experiment. That's really it, and not to be afraid of trying something that you're not super familiar with, that you don't know how it's going to turn out. Just play. That's one of the best ways that you can learn and get more familiar with your supplies. They did all okay. So Sherry said Michael's also has the gouache on clearance. Well, that's understandable. Yeah. So once this dries completely, then I can come back with a micron pen and I can do outlining and some detail work, and it'll be really pretty. With this one, I could go around with my black and do some outlining, or I could do it with a pen. This is supposed to be similar to the leading, I think is what they call it, with stained glass. You know how it'll have that. I'm just doing all kinds of experiments here. So many ways to do it. Okay, so I'm not going to keep messing with it because that's what I want to mess with it, and I need to leave it alone. So, just to recap, let me see. If you've not made the butterfly journal with us, we put those on sale. We've got a few of these available, and you can choose the option you're going to want to choose the option for the kit and the workshop. And it's going to teach you to do all of these different things, pages in here, entries. And next week is butterflies and bunnies. And that's where I'm going to introduce you to our newest little offspring, Creative Art Printables Club. And I've got two of my business buddies coming, one on Tuesday, one on Friday. And I sent them the printables and I said, would you make something with this? So I don't even know what they're going to make. It's going to be so much fun. So Tuesday is Christy Daughtery with Create with Christy. And then Friday is Tracy Gibson with Print Cut Craft. And then I'll be there Monday. I'll be there all the days. But even Brandy and Linda, they got the printables and they're making something too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And you can find it right here on my Facebook page and also over on the YouTube channel. So for those of you who didn't know, we have a YouTube channel, and that's where you're going to be able to find the replays because, as you know, they'll start disappearing on the Facebook page, but we'll have them over there on the YouTube channel. So I'm so glad y'all are here, and I'm excited about what we're putting together for next week. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Mr. Charlie, I'll say hey to him. Say hello. All right. Well, thank y'all. And if you're watching on the replay, let me know you stopped by and just play with what you have. Just play with what you had. Absolutely. Absolutely. So with art, with paint, you can always paint over it or have a baby wipe handy and wipe it off. Just wipe it off. Okay. Awesome, Karen. Thank you. We're going to try and get the YouTube channel organized so it'll make things easier for y'all to find, but that's our plan for right now is we're going to just send you there for the replays. All right. Hope y'all have a fantastic weekend. I do pray that everybody's protected in the bad weather that's going to affect so many of us. And Holly, if you're still here, big hugs to you, sweet pea. I'm so sorry, but we're here for you. All right. Well, I'm about to sign off for today. Y'all have a good weekend. You found YouTube first. That's good to know. Okay, Cheryl, thank you for telling me that. Awesome. We're just going to work together and get that thing fixed. Thank you, Denise. Thank you for letting me know you're here. I hope that you will come next week at noon. I'm really excited about this. This is something that the Lord has put on my heart to do, and it's finally coming to life. So I'm excited about it, and I would love for y'all to join me on next week. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.